What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we're back with a long form video here, and in today's video, we're getting into Moises Caicedo signs an extension and plus a pay raise, keeping him at the club now till 2033. How outrageous is that, right? And then we're also getting into the preview for Man United coming to Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea need the points, bro. So if you like these kind of videos, man, drop a like, sub, comment, and let me know your guys' thoughts on Moises Caicedo extending his contract until 2032. And other players seem to be following suit as well, like Levi Colwell. Will Enzo Fernandez also be part of that contract extension party? We will see. So let's go ahead and get into this preview, guys. So holy shit, guys. Moises Caicedo. I wake up this morning and one of the first things I open up to my timeline is this beautiful piece of news right here, man. I mean, can we talk about a guy that seems like he is committed to whatever is going on at the football club right now? So we pull over to Twitter, right? My word. Breaking. Chelsea are closing in on a new deal for Moises Caicedo. The agreement will be valid until June 2033, with the final details being sorted. Caicedo has given the green light to stay at Chelsea for the long term, right? And we also pull over here to major breaking. Moises Caicedo to sign new Chelsea contract extension on years and pay raise, man. I mean, where do we begin with? And then I'll also pull over here to our favorite resident on Twitter. Moises Caicedo committed to the cause at Chelsea. Give him a real partner, not Enzo Fernandez. Both signed for over 100 million, and only one of them has shown true top class levels for this club. I disagree with that, but I can see where a lot of people are coming from with statements like that. I mean, we need Moises Caicedo in this team, bro. I mean, you look at some of the challenges that are playing through this package right here, right? I mean, it is sensational stuff, man. He's taking shots from outside the box. He's stopping counterattacks. He's good on the ball. He's physical, and he's still young. He's still relatively young, and he's going to be in the peak of his career at Chelsea, right? So are other players going to follow suit and get that pay raise as well? I mean, we'll see. I mean, there's also some reports of like Levi Colwell is also in talks to get a new contract with the pay raise. Will Enzo Fernandez also be a part of that conversation? I mean, I feel like he should. If Chelsea are serious about keeping their cornerstone players, I mean, Caicedo is a cornerstone player, right? I mean, he's a player that you want to build around. So is Levi Colwell, right? So, I mean, it's interesting that they're doing this now ahead of the protest too, also, right? And with the protest being on Saturday, the Chelsea Supporters Trust, right? A group that we need to pay attention to because they have the keys to a lot of what is going on here, right? I mean, they have a direct line to the board, right? Chelsea supporters have shown patience through the years of change. That patience has not been matched by the clarity or accountability supporters have a right to expect. This is about trust, and right now that trust has not been earned. Our open letter to the ownership board and senior leadership of Chelsea FC. So, I mean, it's right here. You guys can go on Twitter and take a look at it. I mean, essentially, what we're going to be going over here, guys, is that even though Moises Caicedo did sign a new contract and there's other players that are also going to follow suit here, it doesn't negate the fact that this club still actually hold on, let me go ahead and leave this right here, guys, because it's beautiful to see. But in terms of the open letter, I mean, this protest is everything. I mean, it's still Blue Co out until unless there's a complete 180, bro. I mean, unless there's a real shift, because my thinking is that why are players re-signing now? With as bad as the club has been in 2026, really, man? I mean, why are players deciding to resign? There must be some type of assurances like from up top, because the board is over here making promises to Reece James, Mark Cucurella, two senior figures in the club. One of them is the club captain, and one of them is honestly one of the leaders on the pitch. Both of them are honestly, but when you take Moises Caicedo into perspective, his talent, he should be able to go into any club in Europe and he can walk into it as a defensive midfielder, because I don't think there's anybody better in his position and what he does. Yes, there's Rodri is still in the picture and he looks sensational against Chelsea at the weekend, right? But when you're talking about a guy that can actually destroy passages of play and stop counterattacks the way that he does it, and the tackles that he makes, and the ability to kickstart attacks from a deep line position and then make those line breaking passes, and also has a rocket of a right foot. Yeah, you need somebody like him in your squad. So it's great that he re-signed. It's great that he's staying essentially for his career, and are other players going to get that same kind of treatment? I think Enzo Fernandez should honestly be getting that kind of treatment in this setup. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens after the World Cup. It's like he stated. So it's great. Moises Caicedo, we appreciate you being a soldier during this time of crisis that the clubs see themselves in. But if Chelsea or if Blueco is really about to sit here and actually go get proven players in the window, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's still Blueco out. I need to see it to actually believe it. Otherwise, I'm not going to sit here and believe any of this PR mess, any of the PR bullshit that this ownership has been taken advantage of for 4 years now. But again, Moises Caicedo, hopefully we sit here and we see that you're here for the long term. And we'll go over here real quick. There was something on Levi Colwell I did want to talk about. He's playing with the U21s tomorrow. I did see that. Yeah. Further to Caicedo's contract agreement, Chelsea are also in talks with Levi Colwell over a new deal, which is great because we've missed Levi Colwell at the back, bro. I mean, I don't think we're as bad defensively if he's in that back line. Yeah, we're probably still leaking goals. We're probably still shipping goals. But I think in terms of having a leader back there, we haven't had that all season. And that's what I think this back line is missing, is his leadership and his control of the game, because he's the one center back that we have that is able to control the ball and pick out passes from the back line. And he's able to kickstart attacks to get the balls to Enzo, to get the balls to Caicedo, right? So, yeah, Levi Colwell playing with the U21s tomorrow is going to be interesting. Hopefully he's back towards the tail end of the season, because we can absolutely use him at the back. We absolutely could. But another thing I wanted to touch on here before I get into the preview for Chelsea versus Manchester United. Also, the music in the background, guys, is some Super Mario 64 music. If you like some upbeat version of the music, Nintendo, please don't copyright me. This is probably the last thing I'll read in regards to this. Chelsea's aim this summer, from what we're told, is to sign starter level players who are ready to impact immediately across all competitions, not just solely talents for the future. That doesn't automatically mean older or Premier League experienced men, but players who can hit the ground running like Palmer and João Pedro did. Definitely expecting an attacker, perhaps more versatile rather than out and out striker, and a center back. Not sure if Jackson could be reintegrated. I'll make some checks on that one. So I absolutely believe that Nicholas Jackson should be reintegrated back in the squad. That's number one. And number two, if you're going to go get a versatile attacker, you need to go get a winger. You don't, if you're going to keep João Pedro and you still believe in Liam Delap and Omega's coming in, and then there's a possibility of Nicholas Jackson coming back, one of those four strikers has to go. And for my money, Liam Delap is probably the one who will get sacrificed. Omega comes in, and Nicholas Jackson. If Nicholas Jackson comes back, which I'm here for, I think he can absolutely make a case to be the starting striker. But João Pedro would have something to say about that, right? But if he doesn't, what club comes in for Nico Jackson for the money that Chelsea want? I don't think a lot of clubs are going to do it because he's not playing a lot at Bayern Munich right now, right? Because Harry Kane is having a sensational season. So Nicholas Jackson was always going to find it difficult to get playing time at Bayern Munich. But we'll see what happens in the summer. We'll see what happens after the World Cup too. But I would love to see Nico Jackson back because I believe he does deserve a second chance at playing for the club. But right now, guys, we're going to now shift into this preview, man. A very important game at the weekend, bro. I'm going to take a quick cut and then I'll see you guys over to some interesting comments from Liam Senior regarding the protests at the weekend and whether or not the players actually care about the rest of the season. So I'll take a quick cut and I'll see you guys. So 8 o'clock kickoff time in London, 12 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. There is a huge game at Stamford Bridge, man. And we can't begin to explain how bad Chelsea need these points. And we've been saying this for the better part of 2 months now, right? Like, Chelsea needed to be on 49 points going into the month of March. That way they can, somewhat safeguard themselves, at least in Europe. But now that seems like that's not going to happen right now. And there's a real possibility that this team could miss Europe entirely, right? So I'm going to pull over to a few quotes from Liam Senior that I want to go over before I get into my starting 11 and my prediction here. Man United will have a few players missing. No Harry Maguire, no Martinez. Both will be out due to suspension, but I think everybody else is generally fit and ready to go. But there's a quote here from Liam Senior I found very interesting this morning when I saw the clip on Instagram. A reporter asked him if the players still believe in if there's something to fight for this season, right? And he gets annoyed with the question and he says, of course they still believe. Of course we still believe. I don't know why you would ask that question. I don't know why you would. And if you pay attention to his mannerisms, he's almost clenching his teeth like, man, he actually might have like struck a nerve in me. And it struck a nerve in him because in reality, Liam, these players don't believe in you, and they've had no belief since you walked through the door because the manager that got essentially parted ways and got sacked spoke out, and these players believed in him. And this is why during the international break you saw a lot of players come out and say, yeah, man, when Enzo Maresca got sacked, it was it was tough. It shredded our confidence. Our mental went down. We had a certain way of playing and we believed in it, and they were believing in it and they were getting better. Nobody could tell me that this Chelsea team had no identity under Enzo Maresca. His worst defeat was 3-0 to Brighton on Valentine's Day last year. That was his worst defeat as Chelsea manager. We've had 3 consecutive, if you take the Port Vale game out, we're really 4 games in a row where we've lost by 3-goal margins, and 3 of those were 3-0. 3-0 to PSG, 3-0 to Everton, and 3-0 to Man City. You're telling me this team is going to find a way to score against Manchester United? This team hasn't really scored, honestly, in 4 games. You take Port Vale out of the equation, this team hasn't scored, right? So, yeah, players aren't going to believe in what you're doing because you're over here writing on a notepad down 3-0, down 3-0 against PSG, down 3-0 against Man City, scratching your head over here, almost smirking because you know that your team is getting absolutely ran around the park, bro. So, yeah, players aren't going to believe in you because you haven't shown that you know what you're doing, right? And then we pull over here. Liam Senior on Chelsea fans protesting. To be perfectly honest, every supporter has their viewpoint and wants their team to win games. Our job is to produce those results in the long term. I respect every fan's point of view. I mean, he's aware of what's going on because he's in the club and he's seen firsthand how the club is being ran. So, I mean, he has an idea of why the fans are protesting. But he's the face, he's the puppet for Blueco right now. So, yeah, he's going to be the one that's going to be spewing all of the PR nonsense that Chelsea fans are tired of hearing. So, yeah, I mean, to be honest, he's right on every supporter has their viewpoint. And we'll see if Blueco's actually listening to what the fans are saying, because if they don't listen here, they're never going to listen. So, I mean, at the end of the day, just because the Moises Caicedo contract extension was brought out today doesn't negate 4 years of damage that this ownership has done to this club. It just doesn't. It really, really doesn't, man. So, again, we have a lot of stuff here that if Chelsea can get 3 points here, will that help them on their European quest? Yeah, but I don't think it's going to be enough to get into the Champions League. They have too many difficult games remaining, including Brighton away, including Forest at home. And Spurs are going to be as desperate as they've ever been coming to the bridge. And we still have to go to Anfield. I mean, there's a lot of tough games in this fixture list, guys, that it's going to be very difficult to see where Chelsea win a game here, right? But, you know, it's football. You never really know. So, a few things before we get onto my score prediction. I want to show you guys my starting 11 here. I want to see what you all think about this here. So it's pretty straightforward. Wrong screen. I got Robert Sanchez in goal, Malo Gusto, Wesley Fofana at right center back, unfortunately, because we have nobody else. Trevor Chalobah could come back in this game if he's available. I'm starting him. I'm sorry. We don't have anybody else to really turn to. I mean, I can understand people wanting Joro Hato there, but I feel like he's more of a left back than he is a center half. And you're being asked to do more as a center half than you are as a left back. Mark Cucurella at left back, Moises Caicedo, the new contract extension has been granted to him. So now we'll see if hopefully his play starts to improve too, because he's dropped off significantly. But we'll see if his form starts to pick up. Hopefully it does. Man United will be a great tester with that midfield that he's going up against. Bruno, Casemiro, right? You'll be able to see if he's really up for that test. Enzo Fernandez, now he's available for this game. If he's available, you put him back in that starting. We saw, right, the difference this team was when he wasn't in the squad. It was clear. Andre Santos wasn't able to step up in that role. Romeo Lavia, I feel like you can put him in the midfield 3 with Caicedo and Enzo, and you have a good balance. But Enzo Fernandez is going to show why in this game, in my opinion, why we need him in this team. Alejandro Garnacho, playing against his old side, I feel like he might be up for this game just because, but we did see some interesting stuff in the week about his TikTok, taking down all the Chelsea posts, you know, having some old Man United clips of him on there. I don't think that's too much to really look into because I don't think he'll be here next season. So I just feel like it's just him getting ready for a move away. Cole Palmer, wake up, bro. Wake up, man. Just wake up, bro. That's all I'm going to say is Cole Palmer, wake the fuck up, bro. Just please. This team hums when you're in form, bro. Like, it really does. Esteval, let's see if Cole Palmer and Esteval can actually link up in this game. There was a few times in the game against Man City where he was very frustrated with what Cole Palmer was actually doing with the ball and all that. But at the end of the day, man. Hold on. Sorry. At the end of the day, man, Cole Palmer, if he can get it going, this team has a shot of making Europe again. But until further notice, if Cole Palmer don't wake up, this team isn't doing nothing, man. They just aren't. So Esteval, Cole Palmer, I want to see that link up. Esteval, hopefully he can take on his fullback and really create chaos because Man United do leak goals. They do concede. So Esteval, I think this is the perfect game because he got taken off early in the reverse fixture because of the red card to Rob Sanchez. Hopefully Robert Sanchez don't get a stupid red card in this game, right? Hopefully nobody gets a red in this game because Chelsea cannot afford to have players missing at this point in the season, right? Moises Caicedo cannot get booked in this game, right? João Pedro up top, the main man, our leading goal scorer this season. I'm expecting a good performance out of him. Hopefully, he does get the service. Hopefully, the link up between Palmer, Esteval, and João Pedro is nice. Garnacho can just be that guy out there on the left that just let him do his thing, let him create something, let him just be direct, and you never really know. He just needs to be in control of his body at the end of the day, man. But yeah, this is my starting 11 here. Let me know what you guys think. And with that part being said, guys, I'm going to give you my score prediction for this game. I know it's in a couple of days, and people generally do previews a day before, but with everything going on at the club, everything that's been, you know, just the PR, just the drama, the players not seeming like they don't care and all that. Man United coming to the bridge. Chelsea generally have a tough time beating them at the bridge, and they've had a tough time beating Man United for the longest time now, man. And they beat them last year at the bridge. They beat them 4-3 at the bridge. I mean, can they make it 3 straight seasons where they hold 4 at Stamford Bridge? Our home form is in the mud. We're mid-table in terms of home form. Are we going to pick up the 3 points in this game, man? I mean, it's a tough call. Last preview, I gave 2 predictions, and I'm going to do the same thing here because in my head, I feel like this game is telling me that it's going to be a 2-2 draw, but my heart is telling me that with the protests going on, the emotion going on around the ground, and it's Manchester United coming to the bridge, and generally fans are up for that. And I think the fans are going to play a huge part in this game as well, just trying to get this team over the line. I think Chelsea squeak out a win 2-1. I think you have to pick up points at home at some point, and Man United, in my opinion, has to be the game. So I think Chelsea win this game 2-1. But in my head, I'm thinking that they concede late on and they draw this game 2-2. But if they just correct a few things defensively and they take their chances, I think they can win this game 2-1. But it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be cagey. It always is against Manchester United. But Man United are going to have chances. They're going to have periods of the game where they're in the ascendancy. They're the ones getting more of the opportunities. They have more possession of the ball. Bruno Fernandes is picking out his passes. Matthias Cunha is out there being mischievous as he's ever been against Chelsea, and he's always good against Chelsea, right? And Buemo is going to be out there. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting game, but I think Chelsea can pull it out. But it's just, if you concede first, don't let heads drop. If you go up, you have to continuously put the pressure on, because the pressure is really on Man United in this game, right? Because Manchester United are still trying to secure a top 5 spot, and they want to finish as high as possible in the Premier League. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since I put a video up, but like, comment, share, sub, do all those cool things that you guys have been doing lately on the streams, on the shorts, all that stuff, man. I'm going to get more long form videos up. I do enjoy doing them because it does give me time to take breaks in between cuts and all that stuff. But yeah, with that being said, I got Chelsea winning 2-1 against Manchester United, but in my head, something is telling me they concede late on and it's a 2-2 draw. But let me know your guys' thoughts about Moises Caicedo, my starting 11, what you guys think Man United's starting 11 could possibly be, and drop your score predictions down in the comments. But yeah, with that being said, I'm Jason, No Filter Chels. Follow my socials down there that have been scrolling through the video the entire time. And yeah, I'm out, guys. Peace out.